aqui o que eu mexi, acho que vocês viram, foi... Coloquei retórica, drama e empatia. É meio difícil porque a retórica e a drama eu coloquei, mas eu me arrependi um pouco de não ter personalizado o meu personagem. Porque, cara, olha isso. Não dá pra eu ter retórica e drama e eu acho que é bem importante isso. Mas pelo menos eu tenho empatia que tipo, parece um pouco. Aí. Vamos ver, eu peguei. Como eu avancei bastante na história principal, consegui pegar a capa. Achei essa camisa aqui, que é ridícula, eu tô ridículo, mas tá dando mais ponta ali pra mim, tipo, ela dá drama, essa aqui dá calafrios e tal. Peguei um óculos, perco o drama, mas beleza. O que ele dá? É cálculo visual. Tá. O que mais? Não, calma. Itens, peguei bastante item inútil, né? E tem esse negócio de interagir aqui que eu. Não, cadê? Esse aqui eu não interagi ainda.
It's just a racist mug.
Tá. Vamos
The
dar uma olhada aqui.
note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined offer.
Does it say anything interesting?
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's someone has scribbled. S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised. That's a plausible hypothesis. It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. Really? You don't have a single guess? Oh, I'm sure the child would love to get his hands on the filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter. I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the iceberg fruit.
Pô, a gente literalmente
Didn't
chegou
you
lá.
see one right next to the breaker box?
Qual é? De onde é o sorveteira? Ah não, eu sei, eu vi. Sim. Mas o que eu tenho que fazer lá? Não entendi. É lá que tá o filamento, é isso? Ah, tá, é isso mesmo. Tá bom, depois a gente vai lá então. Eu vi. Então, acho que é isso. Eu já falei aqui com o gordão. Eu peguei o cheque dele. Aceitei a tarefa dele lá de abrir a porta. E agora, nem sei onde é que eu tô indo agora. Agora eu acho que com 8 horas já, não sei o que acontece quando fica de noite, não sei se a gente dorme, não sei se continua o jogo normal. Consegui um passe de livre acesso pro porto. Eu queria abrir esse negócio aqui, acho que não dá ainda.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were locked.
Beleza. Eu não sei como chega ali. Mas eu queria saber. Deve ser lá embaixo do porto, né? Não sei se tem como ir lá embaixo. Enfim. Tá, agora eu vou lá na cafeteria. Ué. Ah não, eu tenho que falar com o grandão, esqueci. Pra gente descer o corpo. As minas agora estão na minha, tá? Porque eu dei uma porrada no cronometrista. Tá, talvez ele não esteja mais, talvez eu tenha esquecido que eu desmaiei ele.
Do not presume this has drastically altered our race dynamic.
Pô, eu acho que mudou totalmente. Eu dei um pau nele.
True, I said nothing about our personal dynamic. That has altered. He means very little. So it was. You bested me in race combat to reach my superior, then had him give me an order. I salute your cunning, enemy.
You're so noble, Measurehead.
Ah, sai fora.
But while I am gone,
Ela
someone
acabou de me
must
chamar de
stand
novo
guard,
cronometrista.
which that someone needs to be you. That would mean you're openly showing the people that you're taking the seriously.
Puta, mas tem que ser, ó. Se não quiser fazer isso, ele não vai fazer. E aí eu vou ter que dar outro jeito de descer. Só que eu não sei como descer o corpo sem falar com ele.
This is the uncomfortable result of not taking it on ourselves.
Listen to your little friend. He is wise in his childlike way. His mysterious race may yet prove fierce competition to my
Tá bom, vai.
See that they stay here the whole time.
Isso não é o que, pô? Puta, mas eu não queria. Eu sou contra o sindicato. Eu sou a favor da
The woman's
greve.
follows Measurehead as he leaves.
Não, da greve não, pô. A greve é o sindicato. Sou a favor dos trabalhadores.
So, you guys are like cops or something? Cool, I like men with guns and power. I'm Katya, by the way.
Falando nisso, eu queria colocar uma sugestão aqui.
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
Caguei.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Ebrot's lapdogs! Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale!
Foi mal, mano, mas eu também não gosto muito de você, não. Apesar de ser a favor da causa dos trabalhadores.
And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you?
A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez. It's Kuno. Then, the man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him.
Ah, eu queria trocar mais ideia com a mina, pô.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with Ray's victory today. And what you had to do was to become a Union man for all to see.
Ai, se fuder, vai. Eu que deixei ele tremer.
So, how'd you like our harbor? It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains.
Nossa.
Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like the man of the plane. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk. A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Oh, say no more. I got you. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. Oh, so the none of the above type, are you? I get it, I get it. I like to keep my distance too. But it doesn't... What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the where you rise. That's all I know. Our organization
Ah, é
is
aquela
what you
porta lá que a
call
gente queria abrir.
compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Okay, but where did you get it?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly... None of this mess with me. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess. I'm more of a philosophical doctor. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
Who he is and what they're fighting for. This is interesting.
We're negotiating our share. Aye.
Que porra é essa, quinhão?
All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process.
Ai, tomar no cu.
No. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying I want it all to myself is a much older and simpler notion.
Pô, a empresa do cara,
Only
velho.
a child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't.
Certo, companheiro, camarada.
Then how can anything ever be mine? But that's okay. We don't have to agree. The prairie is wide enough for all of us. I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've been. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman. I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees...
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world. The old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish. He is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway. And morally...
Not you would like to say. But then there's that weasel door.
Sure.
The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. The man sits on the railing, his hands reaching far and wide, yet it feels as if he could effortlessly go even wider, if need be, and endless.
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? What a thought! Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless they were pushed, of course. Your dead guy was an enemy combatant. He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable efforts. I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men, with all sorts of skills.
He means a more violent faction could easily take care of such a thing.
Understood. This has been of limited use.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search.
Bora. Ah, esses caras não vão dormir, né? Eles vão ficar aí o dia inteiro, pelo visto. Uma olhada no corpo aqui. Meu couro.
You missed a good show before. A kid game.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
Shoot that shit at Kuno, Pigo North. Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with it? Dunno. Kip-Dash Gardener used to work there. Yeah, that's what Kuno said. She couldn't handle the heat, so she took off. Kuno can take it. Shit's nothing to Kuno. Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just says shit.
Yeah, her.
No, it's not fucking Kuno's.
He thinks you're fucking...
Get the fuck out of here, pig. Kuno doesn't have a magic... Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. The fuck do you want with it? Good call, Pigmeister.
Tá, beleza, foda-se. Caralho, como é que ele quebrou essa porra aqui, velho? Ele subiu na escada, não é possível. Eu falei pra gente subir. Ele não quis.
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch.
Queria ligar a lanterna,
Gently
beleza.
laid on one side.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy. Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the...
The fuck are they on about?
Cop's gonna cut his shit up!
It's not about cutting. And no, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain, from autopsy to cleanup to social work. You are. Your station would not have assigned you on this case if you weren't. Now, the way it's either this, or we complete the initial interviews. We already met Evrard.
¿Qué?
It only leaves the Wild Pines representative. There's one in town, negotiating the strike.
É isso. Ah, depois
The
então.
lieutenant adjusts his glasses.
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them. There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves. However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there in limited cap. I'll ask you when I need you to. For the most part, maybe I should handle the contact and you take notes?
Tá.
That's right.
You knew it because you inspected your letter. The lieutenant is relieved you know the protocol.
Shoot, Looney Rooney. Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Here you go, you loony. Because you have. Fuck no. You're no Rooney. No, you're not a Harry either. You're a motherfucker. That's who you are. Rooney, come back later, Corporal. Amuse yourself with my frank manner.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. Above those, an 11 field info form needs filling out first. It begins with...
That's you.
The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings.
KK57. That. Next. NA. Next. NA. Roughly 50.
The corpse looks ageless, like meat on a hook.
Mondial.
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Fucky, fucky!
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable.
We're still going with March 4th. 51. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
KK 57 0503 0815. Listens, motionless.
None. At least not after the...
A strange word. Treatment. A silent nod. The lieutenant places his gloved hand on. Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from somewhere in Jamrock North. A small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Road. Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to elsewhere yet. An obese...
Nada a ver esses negócios aí, parça. Do nada ele fala uns negócios que não tem nada a ver.
The building is tall, 7 stories, wind-wrapped in solitude. Most of, and so, all across...
We
Tá
should
bom,
start the
foda-se.
postmortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copy paper tries to answer why.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs.
See, it's happening.
Babrodini, yes. Inexpensive. Size M.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers in order to get to the victim's ceramic armor. Officers are in search of the missing pieces. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than anyone else.
Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a map of the night sky. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene. The deceased has a cargo lashing belt around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age, about 50. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short. Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs.
Fucking low velocity. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's...
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Ligature mark. Still wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the bell so we can get to the ligature mark.
You've got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters. The hanged man lets out a joyous little bubble of rot from his nose.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the bell to see the ligature mark below. Carefully.
See? My pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
Ah, caga pro cu, velho.
After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. Suspension point is in the back of the neck.
As it ought to. This is where its grip on the curdled meat is.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia.
No! Let's get out and see!
I fucking knew it!
This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began. The lieutenant is...
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury. Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip.
Bullets have bitten little pieces out of him. It must have been excruciating, especially the head. Before you is a...
In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin. Last item, hands. Hands are clean, no sign of a recent struggle. I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench.
Working so close to the fumes coming from the corpse must be hard. You realize suddenly that the lieutenant has been barely kicked.
Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this?
We don't even have a joke.
Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it. Gently, a rotting smell erupts from the mouth.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen, hemorrhaging present in mucosa.
From here, it looks as though the clown-faced man is screaming. The tendons of his jaw are torn apart. Hyoid ripped from the force of the lieutenant's hands.
Hepatobiliary, NA. Same for toxicology and serology, NA. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits lividity in the lower extremities, feet, hands. Gastrointestinal. Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list? Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 feet. Oh, so we inflicted them? You mean the spin-stabilized munition from a Kill A990? That was not a team effort. I just missed my shot. Also, let's not mention it. That is the water. Injuries. Head, chest and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not... And your opinion, officer? Agreed. Next injury? So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
The lieutenant's admissions cause great gratitude in Kuno. Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
Right. Next. Nothing. Just in case.
The corpse lay slouched to the side, oblivious to its surroundings. The field autopsy...
All right. Bite marks. A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck. There's a gap on the nape. I see hemorrhaging on the skin.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be... Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg. For processing.
He's thinking, did I miss something?
Acho que sim. Eu não consegui tirar a bota dele. Posso tentar agora, né? O que eu precisava fazer? Cadê? Aqui. Você está no chão, a autópsia foi concluída. Ah, tá. Pô, mas como é que eu vou fazer isso sem o Kim tá aqui? Difícil, hein? Mas será que eu quero tanto assim? Deixa eu ver as opções aqui. Deixa o tenente mover. Tá.
You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more. He pulled down his breeches. Marbling is present around the crotch. The penis has shrunk, crawling halfway back inside it.
Can't get enough of that dick.
Do you think we missed something?
You can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you.
Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination, and we need to do it fast. If you want for this task to slowly become impossible, then yes. Otherwise, no.
Not to mention the damage that would be dealt to the force's reputation by the corpse just rotted here like this.
Hey, wasn't there a giant ice bear sarcophagus below that building?
Why, yes, there was. It was massive. Red eyes glowing in the dark.
Yes. Now, I've rarely been disappointed by the size of a giant ice bear fridge. But I think we should still take a look at it first. Make sure it's big enough before we carry him over.
Eu tenho certeza que é.
With every hour, whatever we are looking for in the deceased will become harder to find.
The man is decomposing visibly now. Every hour, he looks. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Tá. Então tem que ir agora lá na geladeira, né? Pra verificar. Como a geladeira é bem aqui na frente, eu vou dar uma verificada primeiro. Que horas são já? São 10 horas. Eu não sei o que acontece quando fica de noite. Ah, calma aí, tinha alguma coisa aqui, ó, que eu tinha que fazer.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring. It's all gone now. You'll never be. What better to assuage the creeping sense of failure than some frozen fact? Turning the crank feels it's all gone now. What better to assuage? You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you. If you want to try again, then you need to have the...
Equip the pry bar by going to the...
Ah, eu já entendi, pô. Tá desligado ou tá ligado? Eu não sei se faz diferença.
Two cables are plugged into
Ligado.
the breaker box.
Vou deixar ligado. Não, vou deixar desligado, vai ver. Desligado.
Two cables are something.
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises.
Vamos ver.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a
3%?
ice cream churner
Puta que pariu.
and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melted.
Mais 2, mais no freio da tomada. Melhor aderência com luvas. É, mas não vou tentar, cara. 3% é muito pouco. E vou perder meu pé de cabra. Caga então. Vamos só aguardar o pé de cabra. Ah, mano. Cabe, né? Cabe tranquilamente.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red, watching over all the ice cream wrappers
Dois
hidden
corpos.
inside its belly.
It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it is capacious and cold enough.
But the optics on this are awful, he thinks.
Shall we go and get the body then? I'll take the head, you take the feet. The stairs...
The two of you, easily. The body is heavier. Half an hour. Stuck into the bridge. The lieutenant takes a step.
Beautiful. A dead body in a nice bare fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done.
You've definitely earned a drink after this. Perhaps even some pagan.
Negativo.
No, not really. Look at that. What have we done? We stuffed a dead body in an ice bear.
He means it. He doesn't want to be the ice bear god.
Did we though?
Acho que fizemos.
Maybe at least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection under controlled circumstances.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting.
Cara, como é que eu vou me livrar do detetive pra pegar a bota? Vamos ver se eu consigo.
Your arm
Caralho, cagada, velho.
your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around.
Vamos ver.
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a rubber spider, your gloved hand crawls on his features. They are swollen shut. You need to really push to get in. Only the little one fits. The flesh changes shape as you bore in, searching for something. The thing you're looking for, it's not there. Crawl out, spider. You pick it between your fingers. The mess is even larger than your nose. Very porous, somehow. Like it's about to pop. Keep crawling. The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue. You're on the right track. A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your hands and studded with teeth. Look, you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius. A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat. Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth. The basal ganglia feels clumpy.
Mano, o que eu tô fazendo, cara?
The funk soul brother at the back of his head has gone dark forever. Your yellow fingers slide into the remains of the limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The undulations of the limbic system have ended. All is quiet. The lieutenant answers with the sound of it. Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but all the muscles in your body harden. Time to enter him. The cartilage is in with a crack, like some fruit. Just like that, your hand is in his head. Strange fluids, ice-cold, serrated metal. Its edges cut right. The pain is barely noticeable under the adrenaline rush. There's a tiny crack, a protrusion. The object that is in there stops just short of the skull.
We have the makings of a very small exit wound here. Can you get to it?
Consigo, velho. Nossa, tirei ainda, cagada, velho.
You pick the object between your index and middle finger. Feels sharp, like metal. You press your teeth together. Your jaw is clenched. All you need to...
Good.
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. sweat dripping down your brow. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth. The garden glove is covered in blood right up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead.
Botão.
A bullet.
Ah, uma bala. Ah, então ele não foi morto de... não foi enforcado. Será que minha luva ficou
The
suja?
bullet falls
Acho que não.
in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. You
A non-caliber rifle. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact. No, you deserve it. We can log it later. We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion collar. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound? Opinion, fatal injury. And one last thing. We should amend injury number 3. Ligament mark. New opinion, non-fatal. Post-mortem. Treatment. Yes, and the belt around his neck. The hanging. Even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
Concordo.
I have had my doubts for a while now. Since I saw there were no signs of struggle on his hands, and no claw marks on his neck. There have been other signs too. Small details. Everything is too neatly designed for us to assign probable cause here.
We almost fell for it, he thinks. Almost.
That's for us to find out. To hide something. The real killer? The real motivation? What really happened here? Yes, we should take a closer look at it.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
Oh, you really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling Rise should come with a bathroom.
Eu vou fazer,
We put
beleza.
him in a bag and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. The body bag should contain the odor for the duration of the transport.
Não, depois a gente faz
I
isso,
will
amanhã.
drive him to processing, but it's too late to do
É,
that.
exatamente.
I'll do it first thing tomorrow. One more thing. This was really good.
The word lingers in the air of the basement. Far away, I detect.
Huh. Beleza. Aí, cadê o... Eu ia falar pra gente dormir, eu acho.
Putting it today, maybe.
Aham.
The nights are still miserably cold this time of year. You should take care of that, man.
Não, tem
Let's
dinheiro
talk to
sim.
him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in his
Though he finds this situation frustrating, he is doing.
Eu tenho dinheiro sim. Ok. Aí eu vou ver se dá pra eu sair de noite, quando ele estiver deitado lá. Pra eu pegar a bota. Não sei porquê também, acho que é só pra ganhar dinheiro, né? Mas é legal. Tá rolando uma festinha aqui. Eu vou interagir com o pessoal aqui. Puta, eu queria ter um disco pra eu cantar agora, mas eu não tenho. Não dá pra interagir com ninguém, sem graça. Ela pode estar pra ali, mas amanhã eu faço isso. Vou falar com o gerente aqui, que eu acho que eu tenho dinheiro, não tenho?
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? You must be joking, right? You come here, trash everything, and now
Qual é o
this
problema?
isn't a game show. I'm not going to accept it. You owe me cold, hard money.
Damn you, Fat Everard. Your novelty check is useless.
Filho da puta.
You can cash it in at the local fleet near the harbor gates, though it might not be enough to cover it.
A lot. For the room and broken window, 100
Caralho, é muita coisa, mano. Tá,
Like what?
deixa eu ver quanto eu consigo. E provavelmente não vou ter dinheiro, né? Que eu tenho 20 conto. O cheque vale 22. Vale 25 na verdade, então provavelmente vou pegar uns 10. Mas vamos ver o que dá pra fazer. Hello? Foi.
Is this about the questions again? Wow. I didn't know you worked for the union, sir. Anything else?
Blow the whole thing on speed and gin right now.
Beleza. Tá. 50 conto. 44, né? Vamos ver se eu consigo fazer ali com o gerente. Dá pra entrar por aqui? Que saco, cara. Por que não deixa aberta essa porra aqui?
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
I understand your predicament as the manager. I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important investigation.
Forgive me for saying this, but your colleague seems more committed.
He shrinks back a bit under the...
I mean no offense. It's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of this establishment. Not until you bring me...
Okay. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
I really didn't want to resort to this. The man is thinking.
Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here. Yes, have you got it? Does that arrangement include you paying me what we... As a police officer, you must understand that I cannot take your evidence being money. You can't stay here without money. Good luck trying to use it. All the locks have an electronic component. They have to be unlocked down here with a master key before you're... Not until...
Okay.
I really did.
Oh, Lieutenant.
Tá, mano, não tem o que fazer, cara. Eu tentei pegar dinheiro, mas, pô, eu juntei 20 conto, que foi difícil. Consegui mais 25. E ele não quer fazer um acordo. Tipo, eu poderia dar metade do dinheiro, né, que eu tenho. Mas, Brasil.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio.
I have something here we could sell. We can...
Transport enclosure. Regular people just call it the cage. The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable.
I confiscated these for a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal. A couple of weeks ago, I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition official's son and hired. I took them and arrested him. That they are. I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. He never asked for them back.
The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners.
Beleza, foda-se. Vamos ver quanto que vale. Aqui que é loja de penhores, né? Ou não? Não for aqui, fodeu. Bora. Será que não é aqui, cara? Porque se fosse aqui, ele teria falado o nome da loja, né? Vamos ver.
Is this about the questions
Puta,
again?
não é.
Because I don't really know
Ai,
anything.
caralho, onde que é essa porra, mano?
Yes?
Ai, caralho. que dá pra perguntar pra jardineira? Sei lá, mano. Talvez ela saiba.
Hello again, officer. How are things? Of course. Where to? Wild Pines?
Yes, a represent.
Oh, that must be the woman on the giant boat. There's one docked on the...
She doesn't like that giant boat. Nor does she...
I'm okay with it.
She's not okay with it. It's a display of power, and she feels threatened by it. You don't know why.
No problem. Like, gone? I'm glad to hear that. Thank you, officer. I'm a Nighthawk. What?
Odd.
Tem que dar um jeito dele me falar onde é que é essa loja de penhores aí.
We see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Puta merda, ele não vai falar. Caralho, viu? Eu acho que é pra lá, deixa eu ver se eu acho. Não quero nem mexer nas coisas que depois eu vou explorar aqui. Pra cá não tem nada. Nada. Opa. Nada também. Um barco. Não é isso. Caramba de cidade, velho. Nossa, pode ser pra cá então. Pra esse lado aqui, ó. Não parece ter uma loja pra cá. Puta que pariu. Até os caras da greve saíram, mano. Todo mundo dormindo, só eu aqui. Que caralho, velho. Eu não sei. Mano, como que eu vou achar essa porra? Aqui, ó. Ao sul da praça. Beleza. isso, acho que. Sul. Cadê a praça? Cadê? A praça tá aqui. Isso é a praça, né? Eu acho. Acho que isso é a praça, tá? É pra baixo. Sul da praça. Que é meio estranho esse mapa 2D. Calma, deixa eu entender onde é a praça. É aqui? Não, a praça é ali, certeza. Pô, é uma praça isso. Destruída, mas é. Então deve ser aqui pra baixo. Ó. Aqui talvez? Nope. Sul da praça. Parece ali. Ali, ó. Não, não parece. Caramba, mas eu já vim aqui, cara. Será que é isso? Talvez seja. Aí, ó. Caralho. Imaginha feia da porra também, viu? Preguiça de explorar. Não, deixa eu ver, vai.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on it. Try to find something pretty and cool here. Then use it to win her back.
Está ela de volta.
Buy something nice. This sounds off. You shouldn't trust this guy.
Não, depois eu vejo aqui. Só quero
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my... What can I do?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Oh no, not at all. I guess I haven't...
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people... As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me entertained.
Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what? Okay, he definitely is high. Whatever it is, you've probably done it. And many other things. A guarded man like him wouldn't tell you if you asked out loud.
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and...
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them?
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
Of course. I meant no offense.
Thank you. Here's the 100 real you need for your bid. Do not waste it.
The windfall is a small consolation.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Não.
Another time, perhaps.
Por enquanto não. Como é que eu saio daqui? Ali. Por enquanto eu não quero explorar ainda a cidade. Quer dizer, o resto da cidade, né? Quero... No momento eu quero pegar a bota. Pra isso eu preciso pagar minha dívida, entrar no quarto e dar um jeito de me livrar desse japonês safado aqui. Vamos lá. Vou pagar esse arrombado aqui, que esse cara é muito filho da puta, cara.
Can I help you? Yes. Have you... Well?
Calma aí, não consigo ver. Jogue as notas no balcão, espero que você se sinto muito pelo que... Ah, mano, acho que eu fui bem cuzão com esse cara, né? Por tudo que eu fiz, então não tem por que eu ser babaca. Não vou
Great.
falar isso.
Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill.
He's not sorry about his behavior for your sake. Now that you have money, he really wants to make sure you...
The electronic lock to your room has been disabled till 9 p.m. tomorrow. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
Porra, 20 conto, cara.
I'll take a room here too.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
Tá, vamos lá. Então é o seguinte, eu vou esperar ele entrar no quarto dele. Vamos ver.
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Just a moment. We should talk about our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Ah, caramba, velho. Tá tarde pra caralho já. Vamos dormir um pouco. Dormir, né? Entre
The
aspas.
air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
Now then, we should talk about the investigation. But I also feel you're a bit hazy on the RCM. Our role here, our rights, our jurisdiction, basically. They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Rebachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve as station police. It prevents confusion among the public. As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry the weapon of our kills, along with the water pipes, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to impute that power.
Ah, mano, eu queria ter essa conversa.
The RCM, or perhaps it is better to say we were alone to fall. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Elysium or the traditional government from the city. Silence. A great comment to such a conundrum.
Ah, sei lá, pô.
Well, our right. Moreover, and you managed to locate and pull out the bullet, so we can get ballistics, make up the gun. All this is independent. We haven't gotten to. We also performed a thorough search of the crime scene. That's great. Now, very important, he wasn't particularly forthcoming with useful information. Claire also helped you, how should I say, remember your name. That's her relief. Moving on, we didn't talk to the wife. Above all, today was exhausting.
I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, sir. Just you wait until you get up tomorrow.
Caralho, velho. Olha que filho da puta, mano. Ele tá me lendo agora.
It's impressive, especially for a man old. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange.
It's
getting very cold now. It's good.
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Coco type. Yes. Guess what's yours? No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official. Huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here.
Entendi, porra.
No, you don't. Come on. You'll be back to saying sorry in 2 minutes. Stop wasting time and begin the rep. Of course you are. It's okay. See if you can get something out of this, like info, or...
Tá, beleza. Agora, vou roubar as botas. Se o tenente me deixar, né? Vamos ver. Vai lá, também. Beleza. Eu sinto que isso não vai dar certo. Quer dizer, tipo, eu vou conseguir, mas vão ter consequências. Porém, eu acho que vale o esforço. Eu acho que vale, vamos ver. Vamos lá.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the fruit. The body is reluctant to let go of the boots. You're going to need to summon all... Whatever you're planning to do, you need to do it before you catch pneumonia in the cold draft coming from deep inside. It's not completely useless. You're able to reveal a little more of the putrid polymer sock. It feels like the leg is going to come off along with the boot. See? The corpse doesn't care if you try to take his boots. He doesn't need them. He's probably glad to get rid of them. He's too heavy to move by yourself. A great mass of... Is that an accusatory glance he gave you? No. This is the right method. It takes some time, but eventually the boots come off. With nasty slices of polymer sock. Not good. Let's pin this on the bear. The ice bear tore up his legs with its claws. As for the boots, you can't possibly do anything with them until you've cleaned and disinfected them thoroughly. Yes, these absolutely need to be washed. Didn't the Whirling have a kitchen?
Tem. Beleza, consegui. Será que... Eu queria saber, tipo, quão detalhado é esse jogo. Se eu desligasse o freezer agora, o corpo ia estar apodrecido amanhã? Vamos lá.
The fan stands still. The lights are on.
Desliga,
the switch must be broken because nothing.
Beleza. Vamos tomar banho aqui, né?
This is not the cleanest bathtub in the world, but it's cleaner than you are right now. The bathtub slowly fills with water. The water is only lukewarm, but still comforting, like amniotic fluid. A few beer cans up, you feel nice and lonely, and so tired. The cans continue to bob, as do your thoughts, aimlessly. They're not even really thoughts, just assorted sensations. None of them acute enough to focus. You see the corpse. You can still smell the cadaver on you. It's going to take more than one bath to get rid of it. Your fingers grow pale and are covered with tiny whirls as the water cools. What are you doing? You're not some fat fish in a fucking aquarium. Time. The waterline recedes as you stand. You are cold now. Your clothes stick to your still moist skin. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Consigo equipar o pé de cabra? Não. Uma porta, né, na verdade.
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful.
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9 p.m.
Beleza.
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then sleep doesn't come. Obviously, you're in bed with your eyes closed. Maybe it's the bed's fault. Its synthetic filling has separated into hot. It barely covers your toes. Under your thrumming eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colors. You won't get on. It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case. It's something to do with, what was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep.
Ixi, tô sonhando? Pô, da hora isso, hein? Eita porra.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood? What it says on the can, Harry. Answer the question. Do you remember your wife's hand on your face? You know who I am. On the bad day. The one where you ask her. And then later in the streets. Wandering. Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. Tell me, do you remember the love of your life? Do you remember the warmth of her thighs, between her legs and in her mouth? That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. One hand on the bottle. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. No, it's gone. 3 times gone and never. You found Elysium.
Elysium.
Everything. The pale and the useless. On the surface. The outer magnetosphere. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people. And you failed No, Harry. You were just talking to yourself. That's all you ever do. Even in your dreams. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in Stinky Boy. You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours. Bumping into things and acting like a clown. You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new. Oh yes, party boy. And it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So time to go to work in the shit factory.
Good going, buddy. Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that all the time. You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be. It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system. Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself. Speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant. It kept you propped up all day yesterday. You got up from this floor because of a holy vow you made 16 years ago. With me. Don't be silly. There was no vow. You were high on speed. That was the only reason you got up. You can't detect without it. It's, are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically, a week. Let's be honest, 2 weeks, maybe 3. You won't make it. Suit yourself. Slow, sad shell man. See how you do without your... The window stands broken in its frame. The morning light hurts your eye. The morning... The fan stands still. The lights are off again.
Bora. Ué, mas e aí, não vai acordar não?
The door is closed.
Ah, abriu a cozinha agora. Rise and shine. Caralho, para de me seguir, pô.
Looks like we can get to work at once. The union must have turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them. I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. Men who drink beer for breakfast? There's talk of an armed wing of the union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for state policing. I think it's them. One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Good. A power move. Purposefully.
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide.
Beleza, só vou dar uma olhada aqui nas coisas. Olha, esse cara só fala isso.
Let me handle this. Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are? This is Martinez, in case you've forgotten. I advise you not to overstay your welcome. That's right. I am not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union.
Conselheira legal.
So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think he has information that will help you?
Quem é esse cara?
Maybe he does. That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arm.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will...
He says nothing. You're sure easily have mentioned something about a lawyer, Elizabeth someone, but you're too dumb to remember what it was.
É claro que eu lembro.
What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martin...
I saw what you were thinking. You want to say, what are you going to do to me? Don't. Just because it's in your head doesn't mean you have to say it. You will not lose out on anything good by not saying it.
Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence.
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. Just dock workers.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are...
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. Get sober, do your job, ask your questions, and get the hell out of Martinez.
Tá.
Just a moment. And there's no public...
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway.
The lady is distressed. Perhaps something more upbeat might cheer her up.
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just... The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too. The manager was vague about it.
Why would he be vague about phone problems? This is something to look into later.
To let the young woman who's house sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
You hear that? Someone's missing. There could be foul play afoot. That's right. Now skip the foreplay. Time to dive into the dark alleys. Doing some good will alleviate the hangover. At least you're used to someone.
That's just it. This isn't like him at all.
Cold breeze hisses through dense thickets of reeds.
You have more important things to worry about. Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary, but they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the water lot to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them? Oh, sweetie. Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life. There's a nameless old fishing village nearby, but we've never had any trouble there before.
I can't say it's the best part of town, but I wouldn't worry too much about...
The lieutenant doesn't want to do it. Find her husband. This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery with that extremely rare insect.
Are you sure we have time to go chasing after bug hunters just now? I did suggest we play it cool, but... If you say so.
Oh, thank you, officers. Truly, I'll be right here if you come across any sign of Morel. Oh dear, I'm not sure where to be. Well, his expression is slightly grumpy.
It's always a challenge to describe a person at best.
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if we'll be celebrating our 16th by a week.
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later.
I hope I've been useful.
Tá, putz. Deixa eu ver se tem alguma conversa aqui com o...
Can I help you?
Não vou pagar ainda não, sai fora. Queria ver um negócio aqui.
This industrial gas-powered stove has been used to prepare food for many hungry people.
What are you planning to do? Throw a dinner party? Please refrain.
Whatever you had planned, you have to do it when the lieutenant's gone. The stove is unmoved by your comings and goings. The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence. The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language of his, and then seems to wait for you to speak.
Horse need more vodka?
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good spirits. Clever.
Vodka boss! I love it, Ratan!
Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea. Honestly, the place is a powder keg. The cook gives you a long, disappointed look, then turns the stove off and seems to wait for you to speak. The mention of mañana gets his attention. They're friends. He looks up at you, then looks away quickly. Shrugging. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door. You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple block. It's painted blue.
Ah, pensei que fosse essa porta que eu tivesse a chave, mas não é. vou ter que falar com o cara aqui.
This is where you say your bit.
He's used to giving orders and having them obeyed immediately. You should not indulge.
Detective.
Precinct 57's finest scans the room, leaving the speaking to you. He trusts you. Maybe against his better judgment, but he does.
Hey, dipshit. You hard of hearing or something? The boss man's talking to you.
What, is he fucking kidding? This guy high or something?
Hey, asshole, up here. We're talking to you.
We are looking for Titus Hardy.
Wow. The RCM sent us some big dick cops. Real big dick cops. Look at them. Reckless. Swinging in the wind.
Yeah, look at the big dick on that car. Can't tell a dick that...
Must be something in the water in Jamrock.
Pergunta pro grandão lá depois.
Yeah, gave him real nice, big...
Yeah. Anyways.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
Cala a boca aí, ó.
These guys are so macho, they're ready to confess to first-degree murder. Ask if it was them. Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match. Starting from the right, boot size 44, blonde man in his 30s. Over sitting on his right, standard working boots, size 45 or 46. Across at the other table, hobnailed working boots, size 43. A symmetric burn on his neck, resembling the letters loss loss. Has he tried to burn it off? And then, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 46. The big dick, wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips. Rugby cap, fingerless gloves, and numerous scars. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it read, in the far corner, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 44, 40-something on his neck. Forget it. Let's call this one the musician. Size 41, with the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face, mean, watery eyes, and 2 front teeth missing. In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy, boot size 46, deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He alone is 130 kilos. In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy. Exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything.
What the fuck is with you, fella? What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy Boy, there's 7 of us and we're all here. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy Boy? We ain't hiring.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
This person Glenn wants to hire, he really respects me.
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! Not to talk to you.
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy Boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. And you're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
There's no point in pushing further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later.
So, you're not just here to swing your big dick. You're here for the pretty boy. You look her that long. Stinks like...
They love it, boss. Spend all day digging around.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Container belt, like we use in the harbor, because we took it from the harbor where we were. Then we went out back.
As he speaks, his fists contract, going through the pulling motion again.
We did this together, all of us, until he was dead. That's why there's a container belt around his neck. Goddamn right.
No. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened so that you don't waste any more of your time.
They're playing to their considerable strength in numbers. Don't talk about arresting them. You only bring attention to your inability to do so.
How many people have you sent to the shades? Ever felt remorseful?
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
Rest assured, lawman. None worse than Algar. He got what was coming to him.
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy boy without arresting all. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
Titus, keep addressing him. He wants everyone to know he's in charge.
Who do you fucking think does? You keep him the fuck out of this. We have autonomy. It's all on us.
When Titus Hardy says he runs the Hardy Boys, he means that in an administrative capacity. On that night, everyone acted as one man.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
Known him? We don't associate with scum. Yeah!
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean the representative for White Pines? The shipping company you're striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you... Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say, and you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out of line.
What kind of mercy?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had cohort.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
This one has a special gripe with him coming here.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to tomorrow.
Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, "I'm RNA's goddamn special."
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some RNA's paratrooper song, and said he's gonna...
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. Like some kind of animal.
Wrong. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
There's slight unease in him suddenly. He regrets mentioning the ring.
He'll kill us all if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. And that was before he started coming here.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah. This girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl. Young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. "Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt?" Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out for it.
Yeah, me and Eugene got around. Aren't you fucking listening?
No. You're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter.
Despite the stone wall, you can slip one more question in.
Titus, do not answer.
Fuck off, Carl. She's gone through enough without you harassing her too. She doesn't need more embarrassment.
What are you talking about? Embarrassment? If someone has been sick...
What you need is to get the fuck out of my face. I've had enough of explaining myself to you fucks. He's dead.
As you can see, these men can only take so much baseless scrutiny. I'm doing my best to keep the situation civil, but...
It won't be for long, Shiki. It's true. She was the only thing holding him back.
Caguei, vou continuar perguntando.
We hanged him up by his neck.
Didn't they teach you anything?
You're pretty sure you've had at least 2 years of cop school, and many, certainly enough to not put up with his back sass. Deliver a knockdown observation.
Não, não vale a pena falar isso pra ele. Beleza.
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to third-degree murder, even if it is a group responsibility.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials.
Rent-a-cop? So that's what this is about. He doesn't see you as his equals.
Acho que não custa tentar, né? Vou até colocar uma autoridade aqui, ó.
Establish authority.
Não deu.
Yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind. Did you already try the gun thing? I hear the gun thing is excellent and has great results.
Stop shitting your pants. You don't need to know, all right? We took care of it. The law handled it, all right?
Yeah. Aren't you listening? It's done. Finito.
For God's sake, stop shouting! Stop breaking things in my establishment! Stop provoking those oaths!
Eu não tô fazendo nada, cara. Vai tomar no cu desse cara também, chato pra caralho.
Sounds like someone's down.
They're not going to give you anything. Can't you see? I can't have a police interrogation in here. People are trying to eat.
Que se foda.
What is your...
Easy, babes. What is this? I can't have a slap fight in my bar. It's embarrassing.
We are deep in fast territory. We need to cool off and re-engage later.
Everyone can see you picked some wrong options. Next time you have to come up with better things to say.
Ah, nada a ver, foi de boa. Só mandei algumas pessoas calarem a boca. O que eu tenho que fazer agora? Eu não sei. Ok, vamos salvar o jogo aqui e depois eu continuo. Acho que a gente progrediu bastante no jogo. Quanto será que falta?